Do you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage being African American, being black in the fashion game today? It's like 2026 because this video coming out 2026.
It's a privilege to be yourself
Right.
in this world.
Right. Facts.
The only thing, your biggest privilege is the one that you was born with, which is your individuality, and that's what culture's about. That's why if you notice that the culture logos are backward. The reason the culture logos are backward is so when you look in the mirror, it speaks to you as a reminder that culture's all about you. This is just a reminder to yourself that you chose you today. It's not about what everybody else sees when they're looking at you. It's about what you see when you look in the mirror. That's why the culture logos are backward. A lot of times we give away our advantage, and our advantage is our uniqueness, our individuality.
Facts.
So many people try to be uniform. We give away our biggest advantage. And the biggest advantage came for free, which is being absolutely you.
How did you take that, Keith? I know you're gooding for him.
Yeah, I know.
So how did you take
Yeah.
that?
You know, it was highly disrespectful.
I don't know if you heard, but there was this conversation about Ralph Lauren's extension of their HBCU collection. A lot of it revolves around this companion video featuring affluent black people in the historically black Oak Bluff community in Martha's Vineyard. The short documentary highlights the rich cultural ties of the black community to this area and how their aesthetic is synonymous with that which Ralph Lauren represents. There seems to be a lot of chatter online amongst our people about the problematic nature of such an endeavor. I'm here today to explore the dynamics in order to kind of understand the problems that we're having with this capsule and determine, in my opinion, if the criticism is valid. Hey, you know me, yo. I'm coming with the historical context. I'm gonna show you what the people are saying. We're gonna look at the Ralph collections. We're gonna look at a bunch of black fashion lines, and we're gonna see how the aesthetics stack up. And by the end of this video, we're gonna see exactly how hard we should be side-eyeing Mr. Lifshitz. If you don't know Ralph Lauren, well, first of all, come on out from under that rock. Let me put you on something. I honestly can't imagine not knowing what Ralph Lauren is, and that's kind of crazy. That's how ingrained into American society it really is. Anyway, if you don't know Ralph Lauren, I'm gonna try to give you the TDLR. Ralph Lifshitz was born in 1939 in Boogie Down to Jewish immigrant parents. In 1939, that man is 86 years old, okay? Changed his name to Lauren as a teen to stop bullying, understandable. Dropped out of college, studying business after 2 years. He started as a sales assistant at Brooks Brothers. Started selling ties in '67 out of a drawer in an Empire State Building department store. Ralph Lauren Polo was born. He then started selling ties to high-end stores, and it was an immediate hit. The rest you probably know for real. He's one of the most known names in fashion history. His legacy will be building a brand synonymous with sophistication. Fast forward to 2015, he steps down as CEO, but I'm sure he'll be the chief creative officer until he go in the grave. Now in the discourse about the Ralph Lauren HBCU collection, which I'll explore in detail a little later, one of the most prominent voices I've seen is the CEO of Actively Black. If you're not aware of Actively Black and you're black, you should be. So let me give you their history. You gotta start with Lanny Smith, a former University of Houston basketball star whose NBA dreams were cut short by an unfortunate knee injury just weeks after signing with the Sacramento Kings. In 2011, he and a few investors, one of whom being Steph Curry, launched a faith-focused athletic apparel brand called Active Faith. It's a successful brand by my account, sold in 46 countries. It's grown from 100,000 in sales in the first year to almost 7 million last year. After the disgusting murder of George Floyd by a cop on video in one of the most repulsing displays of police brutality ever recorded, Lanny Smith was inspired inspired by the performative consciousness presented by many corporations as if our struggles were new. Being devoted to actually investing in the Black community, he created Actively Black. A reported 10% of its sales go to initiatives supporting social justice, mental health, and physical wellness in the Black community. The thing I love the most about them is their commitment to highlighting Black designers and creatives. Notable collaborations include a partnership with Disney and Marvel for a collection featuring Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Allen Iverson, and the state of Muhammad Ali. They even got a Wu-Tang and a Method Man collaboration coming out, or that just came out, I believe. They also outfitted Team Nigeria in the 2022 Winter Olympics, as well as were featured as customizable gear for avatars in NBA 2K24. Smith's mantra is basically the same as mine. He says, and I quote, "We're going to stop asking for a seat at the table. We're going to build our own table." My line was, "Fuck a seat, nigga, make your own table." So we agree.
What's up? It's Will tapping in. Culture, luxury, streetwear, first floor, white marshmallow. We in the building. You know what time it is.
What's the idea behind the name of your brand, Culture?
So as we kind of delved into that just a little bit, culture is a collective of individuals who understand success doesn't have a uniform, right? Culture is all about you. It's understanding that you are going to be the most successful when you're being yourself, when you're valuing yourself, right? So as you show up authentically you give everybody else in the world permission to be authentically themselves. So we create the culture by being the best version of ourselves. And that's really the whole ethos behind the brand, is making sure you're celebrating yourself, making sure you're recognizing yourself, and making sure every day you get up in the morning, you're choosing you.
Now that we've covered the history, let's take a look at more current conversation. It's been revolving around the most recent Ralph Lauren Polo HBCU collaboration. But RL's relationship with historically Black colleges and universities actually starts way back in 2021. Yep, after George Floyd, along with a slew of other corporations, RLC decided to do something for the Black community that has been buying their clothes religiously since at least the early 80s. They pledged to donate a total of $2 million to 12 schools over 5 years. Now, you might be saying, $2 million? That's a good bit of money. Well, actually, so doing the math, in 2021, the average tuition for the year was around $11,391 for in-state students, while out-of-state students paid about $15,262. So even if we act like all the students who got this help stayed in state, $2 million spread out amongst 5 years is $400,000 a year. Okay, take that $400,000 and divide it by the average tuition costs of the year, and you help about 35 students a year. Though it probably was about 30 or less, since we should do the average of the in-state and out-of-state tuition costs. Then that's 2021, but tuition prices increased while this pledge did not adjust for inflation. So it's entirely likely that less kids were helped each year. But a bunch of companies donated to HBCUs, the UNCF, and the various other acronyms having to do with niggas. Then in 2022, they teamed up with Morehouse and Spelman for a collection inspired by collegiate looks of their students, from the jazz era to the golden age, I would say. Almost immediately, I remember hearing the online grumblings. The general consensus seemed to be a sentiment that I shared, might I add, that while the looks are period accurate and very on brand for Ralph, this period that they chose was still problematic as fuck. Pre-civil rights era was obviously not a good time for us. I'm not a huge fan of the style from these particular eras, but they did it well, and I liked a lot of the pieces individually. In 2024, RLC teamed up with Spike Lee for another move with a seemingly benevolent veneer over a problematic respectability politics. They teamed up with Spike not to outfit wardrobes for current or future student projects, but to dress the students themselves for success. During the 8-week paid internship his Spike Fellows program has going on with a huge talent agency. They even hired Morehouse alum James Jeter as the creative director of Ralph Lauren. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know who he is for real. But it seems like the nigga was not playing because he turned around and dropped the next black-focused capsule earlier last year. This one puts a spotlight on the historically African-American Oak Bluffs community of Martha's Vineyard. For those that might not know, Martha's Vineyard is a small island off of the coast of Massachusetts known for summer vacation homes for the super wealthy. It's literally only accessible by the sea or air. There is no bridge, but even Martha's Vineyard has a black part, and that's Oak Bluffs. If you've seen the 1994 dramedy The Inkwell, starring a who's who of black talent of the day, such as Lawrence Tate, Jada Pinkett, Joe Morton, Suzanne Douglas, Morris Chestnut, Glenn Turman, Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, Mary Alice, and more. In that movie, they were visiting family in Oak Bluffs. So yeah, Ralph Lauren's latest campaign honors Oak Bluffs, a historic black coastal community, through a limited edition Polo Ralph Lauren collection inspired by its legacy and designed in collaboration with Morehouse and Spelman alumni. The Polo Ralph Lauren for Oak Bluffs collection celebrates the rich cultural heritage of Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard, a longtime summer haven for black families and HBCU alumni. Blending classic coastal leisure wear with collegiate style, the collection features embroidered jackets, varsity pieces, and nautical-themed accessories that reflect the island's traditions and landmarks. Designed by Morehouse and Spelman alumni at Ralph Lauren, the campaign includes a short documentary directed by Cole Brown, showcasing stories from residents, historians, and alumni. The collection is said to support community initiatives through partnership with the Cottagers, Inc., the Martha's Vineyard African American Heritage Trail, and the United Negro College Fund. Do we know if these are actually helping the people who need help? No. Do we ever though? But I feel you. It does seem performative. But also, they didn't have to do shit and niggas was still finna buy their clothes. Lanny thinks that we should invest more into our fashion brands. I agree. He's coming from a more instead of POV, in my opinion, and that's where we differ. I, a person who has spent an embarrassing amount of time diving down fashion industry rabbit holes, cannot tell you, a black consumer, to pick something of lesser quality just because it's black. Now, does buying black guarantee you lesser quality? Absolutely fucking not. That's absurd. But in a lot of cases, for a ton of different reasons, high quality at a price point you can afford will most often be something only major brands can afford to offer. So you're forced to choose between high-ass prices for black quality brands or affordable prices for the same quality from well-established fashion conglomerates. I heard a lot of people during this conversation saying that we as black consumers should spend with black-owned fashion designers, and again, I agree. But to those that are saying choose this over that, to that I say, chill. Before you go telling someone else to choose insert black brand here over whatever well-known brand, you should do more research on both brands. I have not yet seen one suggestion that matched up in quality. Most don't even match up in style and aesthetic. I think the reason for this is probably fashion is more fluid as opposed to static in its nature. There's a ton of nuance and so much variation in the art of fashion that I think people often forget about the tangibles of it, like the actual design, manufacturing, marketing, retail aspects of it. How do you go about choosing your color palettes?
They choose me.
How much is like experimentation in your process? Do you ever like just try some shit and you like you don't even know how?
That's the only thing I do is try some shit. Like I'm not sitting around playing it safe. I don't look to see what's hot or what's trending or what's cool. I don't look at any other brand.
Right.
This is all, bro. We got abundance that we can tap into. If you understand like how unlimited, like the distance between you, the stars, and the moon is full of potential. That's all unfulfilled potential.
Thanks.
Why would I need to go chase something else or look at something else to try to replicate it when we have endless abundance in what it is that we can create? And that's what our job is. You say we were made in the light of the creator and the likeness of the creator. His gift was creation. So how could we not dare to create? So I just like to tap into that.
Not only am I a bit of a logistics of fashion nerd, but my day job is in business. So my vision of fashion goes beyond that of a consumer. I'm fully aware of exactly what it takes to go from sketches to production. All the steps in between, I've set eyes on. So when a Shaq gets on TV and tells you the leather on a Shaq out of Walmart is the same as the leather on a Jordan, believe me when I tell you he's a goddamn lie. No, the fuck it ain't. They might do make them in the same factories like he be saying. They might do. But the materials are different. The stitching types are different. The insoles and sole construction are different. They probably seal the upper to the sole with a stronger glue. The only thing the same are probably the laces and the eyelets that they go through. Rate value ketchup is the same as Heinz point of view. I don't believe in that. I believe in it as a mindset. Like I can choose to always pick the cheap option because I'm intentionally saving money that way. Yes, that's an admirable thing, and I can appreciate that. But all that shit is the same ass niggas. Y'all just don't know better. For sure, with some shit, you're just paying more money for a name. But also, you're probably not paying a premium price for a bullshit product just for the name. If you are, you should probably not do that. I personally do not do that. I'm such an informed shopper. I'm informed about tons of shit I will most likely never buy. In the world of fashion, there are tons of textiles, materials, dyes, construction techniques, and combinations of them. That wild variation carries over to a wide variation in pricing. The next time someone tells you that the cheap shirt they have on is the same as an expensive shirt you have on, ask them what the fabric blend on their shirt is. If they quickly reply 80-20 cotton poly, all right, he might be onto something. If he gotta look at his tag, don't listen to nothing else that niggas say. Before you tell niggas not to buy insert white brand here, you better have an adequate alternative. If not, you just a hater. You just mad because you don't got the shit. You will be hard pressed to get the black people to stop wearing Ralph Lauren. I mean, let's just keep it a bean. At this point, we've been seeing ourselves as a part of the American dream aesthetic Ralph exudes for over 50 years. In the RL marketing and in real life. From the hood to Hollywood, Polo Ralph Lauren has been a staple, for better or worse. And honestly, I don't know a black-owned brand that can match that vibe. For all the things the older generation gets on the youngers about, vibe is one I don't get. I understand vibe. I might not get why you vibe to that or why vibe is exalted above substance, but I do understand it. And that's the best way to explain black people's relationship with Ralph, a vibe. Ralph's aesthetic can really be summed up as a vibe. And it's one that black people very much understand and aspire to as well. That shit don't got no color. And if it does, the color isn't Caucasian white, it's money green. Yes, I am biased. I don't know about everywhere, but in the places I've lived, Polo is a staple brand. And not just for the name either. I know this is subjective, but even as a broke ass nigga, I always found the price of Polo Ralph Lauren to be worth the quality you get. I'm only speaking for the clothes though. I know they sell fragrances, which I do wear, bed and bath linens, and some more shit. They definitely be doing too much in some other areas. But in the Polo Ralph Lauren apparel department, them niggas be cooking. I mean, look at this shirt. I don't even remember getting this shirt, but I know it's older than my youngest child, and she's 13. And this motherfucker still look alright for real. You can look the shit up right now. You will not find it. That's how old this shit is. It's hella brands clothes that don't last long enough to be vintage. Overall, I guess the question I have for all the black people that say black people shouldn't support RL anymore is, can you suggest an alternative? No, that's an actual question. Let me know in the comments. What are, black owned brands that are equivalent to Polo? I'm genuinely trying to find one. I cannot. And I know where to look. So that's my issue. Niggas will be quick to tell you not to fuck with something, but never as quick to offer an alternative. And when they do, it's one of them all that shit the same niggas. There are equal and or better quality black owned alternatives to major brands. That is a thing. Great examples of this are Fear of God, Telfar, and the aforementioned Actively Black. But Polo is Polo, and I don't think there will ever be another company, black owned or otherwise, that will invoke the type of feeling that you get from Ralph, except maybe a Wells Bonner. But I feel like that's even a little bit more higher class than Polo even. But while we're here, let's take a look at some of these black brands, and I'll show you what I'm looking for in a brand, just so you can get an idea of the framework I'm building off of. It's not good enough to just make good clothes. It should be, but that's not the world we live in. We live in a world filled with fucking noise. And in order to cut through the noise, you have to have more than just a nice product. For the average potential consumer to spend with you, you gotta have great marketing as well. In order for a consumer like me to even know you exist, you must, and I mean must, have a defined style. To be one of the greats, you need consistency and brand cohesion. You want me to buy your shit? What's your design language? What statement are you making? What story are you telling? Before you even create a product with intention to sell it, who is your customer base? What are they looking for that they'll find in your product? Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I got Macallan taste with an old English budget. I have a tendency to be frugal, but also I recognize and appreciate quality. So when I spend a premium on stuff, I never consider it a splurge. I'm either well researched in the specific item to know for sure it's a good investment, or I'm well enough versed about the product in general that I can discern the quality of a specific item from the distinguishing features of it. The things that make these brands we choose to buy over black brands are, let's be honest, sometimes lacking in our brands. It's not our fault. It's lack of funds, resources, and opportunity. But there's no excuse for lack of knowledge in 2026. I want to take a look at some of the black brands' websites and see what we doing right and point out some areas of improvement. Let's look at Ralph first since they the topic of debate. All right, we're gonna take a look at these sites here and see how they stack up. Obviously, we spoke about Ralph Lauren already. They're telling, you know, the story of sophistication, nostalgia, Americana. If you look at the website, I'm trying to compare how they're laying out the apparel. How are they laying out the apparel for you to purchase? How are they displaying it? So if we look at Ralph Lauren, you see here, boom, boom, boom. You know, what you're seeing is a level of consistency that a lot of times I'm not seeing in everyday websites. First of all, they all have the same background. Look at these. They're all in the same room. Like, you know, I mean, they're all in the same spot in the same room. It's just the cohesion here that I feel like should be the benchmark. That, you know, if I'm a brand and I want to be compared to or better than or sell in the same stores as, I'm gonna look at this as the benchmark of what I need to be doing. And it doesn't take a lot of money to do this. All it takes is a professional photographer or a professional camera and a little bit of research, and a brand owner can do this themselves. Like, it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars to pull this off. So we're gonna look at another brand here that's black owned now that I consider to be on par in comparison with a polo in certain ways. So let's look at their polos. Let's look at how they're laid out. Consistent, cohesive, clean design. Let's go to the t-shirts. Again, it just looks consistent. And this one's kind of an all ball, but you see what I mean. The design language is consistent across the website. The storytelling, hey, I get it. You're a black brand. We're getting fresh and playing golf. We niggas getting fresh playing golf. Speaking of golf, let's go to Golf with Floor. We already know who makes this. This nigga right here. Clean, consistent design language, cohesive. I love these pictures. I mean, you know, so you don't have to be high art. Look at this. Look at it. Look, see what I mean? All right, so now we're gonna switch to Nike. And you know, all y'all done seen this. This ain't nothing new. If we go to the shoes, all the shoes look like we took them in the same place, if not a couple of places. You know, it's a couple of white backgrounds, a couple of gray backgrounds, but pretty much all white and gray. Basically, it's just a cohesion. There's a level of consistency. I'm so well read in this area. For a hoodie, let's take for instance this hoodie. Okay, If I was making this hoodie, okay, I want to know these threads, these stitches right here, the stitch right here, these stitches right here. I want to know, is it bar tack or flat lock? I'm going to tell them I want it to be at least 450 GSM high pile. When they send me the sample, I'm going to be like, okay, what was the thread tension when you sewed that kangaroo pocket? Oh, it was 4? Okay, make it a 7 and send it back. You know, I'm just not good at explaining it here, but I know what I like. I know what I'm looking for. I don't think it takes the most to get the best. I think it takes research. It takes know-how. You just got to know what you're looking for. You just got to know what we're trying to do exactly, not a general idea. And if you don't know, do some more research. Here we go with Actively Black as a direct comparison to Nike. And again, look at this. Fire, clean, consistent. Look at this. This right here, hard. We all love Cecil Williams. We all remember this picture. Had him at the fashion show. Michael Jackson drop. Clean, consistent, cohesive. They have the triple C's, not color clarity. We have clean, cohesive, and consistent. That's what we got here. We got this brother that looked like Joe here in the video, you know, showing you how it looked when a brother moves in them, how it looked when you move. And I'm telling you, man, culture, luxury streetwear. This is the brand that my man's owns. We're looking the same. We're looking clean, consistent. Look at this. This is what we're doing. And it doesn't take this man is not putting millions into this website, but it still looks like, you know, just as comparable to Off-White. We you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a perfect example of what I've been saying. It just takes some research, some know-how, maybe some artistic flair, maybe. Because my man's definitely an artist. So, you know, he knows what he wants to see. Also, you got to know what everybody else is doing. Let's look at Fear of God. Another black owned, clean, consistent. Look like they standing in the same place. All of the stuff look like it's we're taking the pictures in the same place with the same lighting. Luxury streetwear, direct comparison. Here we go, another luxury streetwear brand, black owned. Everything is clean and consistent. Not the clothes themselves, how you display the clothes, the site, supervision, all the clothes, consistent. See how they're laying it out? Let's look at another one. Black owned. This is jewelry this time. You see this? This is a black woman made this by hand. Look at this website. It's art. Wells Bonner. Look at this. We got Dave immediately. The biggest, arguably the biggest UK rapper right now. This look like art. These pictures look like just professional photographs. Like, you look at this. Look at this. I don't even know what to compare this to exactly, but this. Like, Grace Wells Bonner is killing shit. This is higher than Polo. It's higher than Ralph Lauren. I mean, this is like, you know, it looked higher than Purple Label even. Come on, man. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. While we're here, we might as well look at this, because if there's anything to talk about with Ralph Lauren as far as a reason not to support, we're gonna look at this. Now, I know you probably didn't see this. Trick Daddy talks about his Polo reps told him not to, you know, this one say, oh, he's asked for exclusive gear. No, let's cut the crap, okay? All right, so what he said in this interview is, because I watched the interview, Trick said he asked for a catalog so he could get the Polo out the catalog instead of having to go to stores in different places to get different Polo, because they roll stuff out differently. And in the South, back in the day, it was kind of like, you know, behind. We wouldn't get all the stuff that everybody else get. You'll find different stuff. And see, what people might not understand is, and I know Trick is a problematic on, we ain't here to talk about that. What he did for Polo as far as putting him on the map in the black community in the South in a certain type of way, it can't be disputed. So if this really happened, they hit him and said, hey, not only are we not sending you a catalog, but we'd rather you not even mention us in your music no more. To make him go then and say fuck Polo on the next track, that's a reason not to fuck with Polo. That's a reason not to. Did Ralph email him directly? Probably not. Did he even know about this? Probably not. Would he have still said the same thing? Probably. But this is some bullshit, and this is a reason why we should support black-owned brands. You ain't got to get the purple label, but if you want a purple label, get the purple label. Hey, what am I? Hey, go ahead and get the Ralph. Look, don't listen to me. But what I am saying is, if we're gonna not mess with them, let's not mess with them for the right reasons. And I know it happened a long time ago. He probably don't feel like this right now, and probably was a marketing exec or some PR publicist person or somebody. I don't care. This is a reason not to fuck with Ralph right here. If you're black and you want to support black and you care about blacks, hey, this is a reason. Me as an artist, because I do a lot of different stuff, I haven't gotten to the fashion yet. Like I just have an idea and put a whole bunch of ideas together for a clothing line, but it never materialized. Yeah. But I'm an artist in a whole bunch of ways. As an artist, like being black is everything to me. I can't imagine what type of art I would make if I wasn't black. Yeah. What a lot of that is informed by black culture. What is black culture to you?
Black culture is what black is, right? Like every other color you can make from black. Like you can pull all the other colors from black, but you can't pull black from any other color, right? Thanks. So black culture to me is the origin story of everything you know, everything you see, everything that you appreciate, everything you celebrate has been influenced by black. And so that's what it is to me.
I'm not here to tell you what to buy or what not to buy. For whatever reason, you may or may not. But I will say this. We ain't gotta boycott everybody that ain't doing what we want, how we want. Even if we do, what is that gonna solve when none of these companies make the bulk of their income from niggas? Now, when a company fucks up, yes, of course, withhold them funds. And if you gotta spend on something specific, try to buy black. What do we actually want? I mean, did we think they was finna do a low-life campaign? One day they probably will. Really, if you got a problem with how any of these brands are doing it, do it yourself. You don't have to be a visionary. You just gotta have a vision. You don't have to have the money. Sweat equity and networking both go a long way. The same niggas that was talking shit about RL probably still shopping at Target and all them other companies that jumped on the bitch boy's dick and canceled DEI. There's nothing wrong with preferring high quality. There is no problem with not settling for less. I buy black a lot, sometimes without even knowing if the quality is going to be right. I will gamble on us in a way that I never do with other businesses. But also, I need to feel like I got the most for my money when I buy something. So what did we learn? Number one, corporate initiatives should be critically examined to ensure they deliver genuine impact rather than just surface level gestures. Number two, activism should focus on building meaningful alternatives and holding harmful companies accountable. Number three, fashion choices and brand collaborations must consider historical and cultural context to avoid unintentionally evoking sensitive or problematic eras. 4. Supporting black-owned brands is important, but black people should not be ashamed for prioritizing quality, affordability, or accessibility. Number 5, empowering yourself with knowledge about quality and value leads to more intentional and beneficial purchasing decisions. So do a little research. 6, brand loyalty is deeply rooted in cultural experience, making it unrealistic to expect consumers to abandon brands that resonate with their identity. Like, would you tell Carlton or Young Dro not to wear polo anymore? 7, constructive criticism and proactive support are essential for growth and improvement of black-owned businesses. All that being said, if you black, try to buy black. It's a ton of dope black fashion designers out there doing their thing. Fuck with them. I gave you some in this video, but I follow so many on IG, it's a ton of them that I couldn't include. And like I said in another video, if you want to see something, Just search it. Look at hella content about it at one time. After that, the algorithm will keep feeding you stuff if you like that. Instead of letting it use you, you use the algorithm. Hell, Fubu even coming back in. At least it is in London, and I'm with it. What would you tell somebody trying to start fashion today? Like, oh, I got an idea for a clothing line. I got the drawings. You know what I'm saying? I could draw. I got the drawings, but I don't know where to start. Where would you start?
Right there. Whatever you can find. I don't care if you're going and getting a polo t-shirt,
right,
and you're going to draw on a polo. If you find a hoodie or a polo or a t-shirt or something that you feel like fits your brand aesthetic, and you feel like you can add something to it and call it your own, then start right there. And everybody's trying to get it right when nobody has it right. You feel me?
Facts.
Everybody's trying to get it right when nobody's mastered it. It's not complete. It's always going to evolve, so you can't get it wrong. But you definitely can get it wrong if you never start. So just start. Even if you're just wearing it yourself. Cool. But start.
You know, it was highly disrespectful.